What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. And this one we should make the Poppy Playtime Smiling Critter plushies. Now these are all pretty much exactly the same as far as the structure of them goes, but they will be each individually made, and there will be chapters in the video if you look at the timestamp stuff, so you know when to build all these. Yeah, here they all are. Anyway, with that being said, enjoy the tutorial, and I will catch you on the flip side. Here is our first competitor in his full glory, if you will, Catnap, and yeah, a big boy and then little guy. I've made Catnap 3 times now. That's insane. Anyway, here he is. So Catnap has a bit of a larger grid because of his tail. He needs a 19 by 14 space. Now, I will not have the material list like on the ground like I do for tutorials for these guys because all of them, or almost all of them, require less than 9 materials. If they do require more, I'll just tell you the extras. So for Catnap, you need purple concrete, purple wool, gray concrete, bamboo stairs, bamboo plank, black concrete, a singular nether brick, and black stone slab. So if we start from the front right-hand corner of our 19 by 14 grid golf if you made it, you want to start by counting left by 3 and going left, you'll place 2 purple concrete. Extend either one up by 1, excuse me. And then leave a gap of 3 moving left and do the same thing, so you have this. All of these are perfectly symmetrical with the exception of some of their little, like, badges, or as I mentioned, the tails are not symmetrical usually, but yeah. We will be kind of using that to our advantage here. You want to take each of those purple concretes on both legs and bring them back with 4 purple wool per concrete. Hopefully everyone is having a good day or night as well. I am for the most part. You'll take the top back inner purple wool on either side and bring them in by 1, and then place a gray concrete inside of those. You will take that little row of 3 and extend it up by 7. But don't forget the bottom quite yet. And you'll also end up bringing the bottom row down diagonally back by 1, so you have this. He has a little bit of a belly for sure. But I guess they all do. They're all a little bit chubby, but I guess plushies are usually chubby, so, you know, that does check out. You will take the purple wool on either side that sticks up and extend it out on either side by 1. You'll then take the, I guess the back kind of outer block of the legs and bring it up on either side with 3 purple wool. You will bring that whole body shape back by 2 rows, which would include the bottom of the legs here. And essentially, I guess it is just the outer rows you're worrying about here. And I'll include where the top is, but I will not bring the gray concrete back with 2 gray concrete. It will end up still being brought back with purple. So you have this. At the left and right, you will kind of take the where the body goes in a row, and specifically the back 2 rows of purple there, and extend them up just by 1. So you have this. You can fill in the back of the body now in with purple wool. These are going to be very easy. They'll probably be like 8 to 10 minutes each if I had to guess, if even. We're only at like 3.5 for Catnap right now. Yeah, let's get the tail out of the way because I mean it is fairly easy, and it's just, you know, it'll be nice to not have to do it later. You will take the back bottom purple wool block on his, I guess, butt area, which is this particular block. You will bring it back with 3 purple wool. And then I would recommend going like up against his back and just looking out so you kind of see where the purple sticks out so we can follow this easier. You'll take this back purple wool and go back diagonally, left 1, back 1, back diagonally, left 1, back diagonally, left 1, left by 3, forward diagonally, left 1, forward diagonally left by 2, forward 1, Forward diagonally left 1. Forward 3. Forward diagonally right 1. Forward 2. Forward diagonally right by 2, and then right by 1. And there you go. It's almost circular, but it's not quite. At the base of the tail where we started, you will take these original 2 purple wools and extend them out on each side by 1, which would be left, up, and right. The row up against his body, you can also just kind of fluff out the corners there to create a rectangle. And that's his tail. For the arms, they are situated on the front 2 rows of his body. And if you take the top row of purple on either side, you will extend it out by 2. You'll then go down 1, out 1, down by 2, out 1, down by 3, and then you'll connect down to the ground with 2 purple concrete. You'll pretty much just place another row directly inside of all of that of the same kind of block. So you'll place purple, concrete at the bottom, and then literally just purple wool inside of every other block. It's kind of, I guess it's not really that hard. It's just 3, 2, 1. You're placing 3 there, 2 here, and 1 at the top. And you should have this shape. Extend the arms back by 1 row, just all around here. Oh god. Just like so. Me when people DM me. Now you'll have this. Before we make his head, I'm probably going to end up sneezing as well, but let's make his little, like, crescent zipper little cover, I guess? I don't know what it is, really, but anyway. You want to take the topmost gray concrete and count down by 1. In front of this one, you'll place an upside-down bamboo stair that faces left. Left of it, you want a regular bamboo stair that also faces left, which you'll bring down with a plank, upside-down bamboo stair facing left, and then right with, again, a normal bamboo stair facing left. And you'll have this. Above the middle, or I guess above the gray concrete, we'll call it that, you'll place a purple wool. You'll extend that purple wool forward by 2, and then left and right by 2 from that front one. And you actually can do it to the, well, no, we'll just start with the front. You can technically do it to the other 2, but we'll just end up bringing the mouth back a certain amount instead. You'll then, from the ends here, go up diagonally out by 2. Up by 2. In by 2. Down diagonally in by 1, and then connect together. This middle purple wool can be brought up with a black stone slab for his nose. You'll bring the parts of the mouth that are not the top back with 4 rows of purple wool. So, essentially, it'll end up kind of in line with the back of his head. And we'll probably end up punching out the corners at the back bottom there. But yeah, you just really want the sides, and that's about as far as that goes. I guess the bottom as well. So yeah, you should have this. As I mentioned, it may be smart on the back here to just take this kind of row of 5 purple and cut off the corners too. Just give him a little bit more shape back there. And then you can bring the next row of purple in a block, back diagonally in by 1, and then connect together. For the remaining 3 rows, you'll just go back diagonally in by 1 from each of them, and then just straight connect together across the back of the head. And we're almost done Catnap already. Insane. For the mouth, it wants to be filled in a block back with black concrete, with the exception of 1 block. It's under where the nose is this purple wool. Essentially, I guess you can bring it back by 1 just so we have something to place off of, and then below it place a nether brick. Everything else kind of around that nether brick will just be black concrete. And there you go. Behind the black stone slab here, you will place a purple wool, which you will extend left and right by 1. That middle one can also extend up by 3, and we've done it again. You'll take that top purple and extend it left and right by 2. Then down diagonally out with a purple, and then down by 1. Fill in the 2 gaping holes that are staring into my soul in with black concrete. And you'll have this. That looks so weird. You'll end up bringing the kind of outer edge of purple wool back an additional row, but on this row, you're kind of taking the ends of the, I guess, bottom blocks of the rows, if you have more than 1 block, and bringing them out by 1. What this really entails is these rows of 2, you'll take the bottom purple and extend it out by 1, and also, I guess, above the rows of 2, you'll go up by 1. To give you this. He looks so weird like this. Actually. No offense, Catnap. I mean, I guess you could, technically speaking, take offense, but don't take my offense. You then want to bring that whole row of purple back an additional row. And copy the original row, kind of. I guess the best way to do this is taking these purples kind of on the bottom, or on the outsides here, and bring them in diagonally up with a purple. For simplicity's sake, you will just go up with 2 purple and then connect together, because those corners end up getting filled out by the ears anyway, so we might as well just do it now. Fill in the back of his head with purple wool. Oh, actually, we're 11 minutes. I don't believe it. So what are we on pace for, like an hour-and-a-half long video? Insane. You want to take the rows of 2 purple here on the left and right, kind of above his mouth on the sides. I'm highlighting this purple in specific, the back one. You'll bring it up with a purple on either side, and then up diagonally out with a purple. Then go up by 2, and up diagonally in with a purple. And then you'll just go down diagonally in by 2 to connect into the head. Oh god, I'm breaking everything. Fill in the middle of the ears here in with purple concrete. And on the backside behind each of those purple concretes, you'll do the same thing you actually did on the original Catnap, which is where you'll just place purple wool to cover it all up. And yeah, there you go. That is your Catnap done. Nice. Our next terrifying friend is Bobby Bearhug, and yeah, he or she is, I think it's a she, but I don't remember. I've played the games like more than once, but I don't know. So Bobby Bearhug only requires a 13 by 8 space, and the materials you need for her are red wool, pink concrete, what's the block again? Block of coal, that's the block that I need. I'm, like, just exploding right now. Red nether brick stairs. Red nether brick slabs. Nether brick block. And you can either go with blackstone block or blackstone slab. It technically doesn't matter. I think I'm going to go with blackstone slab because I feel like it. And what am I missing? Oh, yeah, the obvious one, black concrete. Literally their entire soul. So Bobby Bearhug is completely symmetrical if you need that information to particularly help you in any way, shape, or form. I will start from the front left-hand corner of this space of the 13 by 8 cough cough if you made it, and you want to start by counting right by 3 and placing 2 pink concrete. Leave a gap of 3, place 2 more. Bring each of the 4 pinks up by 1, and then you can end up bringing each pink concrete from there back with 4 red wool. This will look very familiar if you made that little lad over there, but I gotta do it 8 times. I structure blocked them originally. You totally could and just recolor, but I'm not gonna do that for a tutorial because what's the point? Let's be real. Anyway, you want to connect, or from the red concrete, or red wool, excuse me, on the like back inner block of the leg, you'll place a pink concrete moving in with a block of coal inside of that. You will extend that whole thing up by 6 rows this time instead of 7 if you made Catnap. Bring the block of coal up an additional 1, but place red wool this time left and right of it instead of pink concrete. You'll do the same thing, though, before, where you'll take the bottom row and bring it down diagonally back with the same thing. You will take each pink concrete except for the top one and extend it left and right an additional row. It's the bottom, what is it, 6 here? 4, 5, 5, I should say. Out of what you can, obviously. And then you'll just place 2 red wool on top from there. Left and right from the bottom red wool, the legs here, these back blocks, you'll place 3 red wool moving up. You will bring the outskirts of the body back with 2 rows of red wool again, except well, it's all red wool, I should say. That kind of just made my point a little bit more clear. But yeah. And then you can also fill in the back with red wool. Just like so. Yet again, the same thing where you will take on these sides here, the backmost 2 red wool where it kind of sticks up or goes in a row, and you'll just bring these red wools up by an additional 1. Take the back here of Bobby, and you'll take kind of the middle 3 blocks at the base on the back side and place a row of red wool with another row on top. Little bit of like a stub. Alright, it's kind of like a rabbit tail, actually. Which is definitely a cue for a different character later. Anyway, you then want to take the front kind of red wool row here, this particular top row at the left and right, and go out from this particular red wool with 2 on either side. Then go down 1, out 1, down by 2, out 1, down by 3, and then you'll place 2 pink concrete. Same thing where you'll just kind of place off of the inside of the arms another row with pink here at the bottom, and then it'll be 3 red, 2 red, and just 1 at the top. You will end up kind of being in line with the body or connecting with it, but that's fine. I should have mentioned that on Catnap, but I forgot to. Bring the arms then back an additional row. But yeah, their arms kind of like fairly flat to their sides, at least in the image I was using, which is kind of the pose I went off of, to where they're just, you know, sitting there, not doing much. For the little, again, the little zipper thing, or it's kind of like a necklace, I guess, but not really. You want to take not the top block of coal, but 1 down, and you'll place a red nether brick slab off of it. Left and right of that red nether brick slab, you'll place red nether brick stairs facing away from it like so. Underneath those stairs, you'll place upside down stairs facing the same way, which is just away from the center. In between those stairs, you'll place a red nether brick block with an upside down slab below it. Same thing for the head. Off the front block of coal, you'll place a red wool above it, and extend it forward by 2. Extend that then left and right by 2. And then from the ends there, you'll go up diagonally out by 2. Then go up 2. In by 2. And then down diagonally in with a pink concrete with another one to connect in the middle. Above the middle pink concrete, you'll place a black stone block. And again, you're doing the same thing where you are taking the outer edges of the mouth, specifically on the bottom and sides, and extending them back by 4. With the exception of the row of 5 here at the bottom and the specifically the left and right rows of it, you'll only bring those back by 3. Just so we don't have to destroy that later, because let's be honest, that'll end up being the direction we go in anyway. So you'll have this from the back. We will start with filling in the back here, so you'll take the red wool on either side here where it kind of sticks over and bring it in by 1 to cover up the gap from the underside. You'll then go back diagonally in by 1 and connect together, if I could place the blocks right. From the other 3 rows, you'll just go kind of back diagonally in with a red wool row and then connect them together on either side. There you go. Let's start with the filling in the mouth again. So you'll take the middle pink concrete at the front of the mouth and extend it back by 1. Underneath it, another brick block. And then the rest of the mouth will be filled in with black concrete, just again in that same line of block back. You can take that back pink concrete and extend it up by 1. It's not a black pink concrete, I can tell you that. You'll then take the pink and extend it left and right by 1, like so. This middle pink can be extended up with 3 red wool. And then that top red wool can be extended left and right by 2. You'll then go down diagonally out with a red wool. And down by 1. Yet again, you'll fill in those holes with 2x2 of black concrete. And that just looks terrifying, you know? If I walked into a room and saw that, even if it was just a plushie, I would turn around and walk out of the room. That would be my first step. We'll do a funny little alternative to what we did for Catnap, just as I'm testing to see what is easier to do, since we, still have 6 more. You want to bring the whole head shape back with an additional 3 rows of red wool. And then just fill in the back, I guess, with red wool. The middle 2 rows, you will take the red wool at the top, and you'll extend these middle 2 rows left and right by an additional 1 at the very top. And I guess you can also actually place it on the back corners again, because we still have that going on. And at the, I guess, bottom row of this little row of 4, you'll take the middle 2 again and extend them out on either side by 1, like so. Oh my god, there we go. Nice and happy. They're, like, cute in a demonic and haunting way. I don't know how to explain it. Like, I did mention I would run away, but also at the same time, like, I don't know. They look so happy. You'll take the back red wool anyway on those rows of 2 we just made, these bottom ones, and extend it up by 1. You'll then go up diagonally out with another red wool. Up 1. Up diagonally in by 1. In 1. And then down diagonally in by 1. Fill in the gaps here in with pink concrete on the sides. And then again, fill in the back of the pink concrete in with red wool. And there you go, that's Bobby Bearhug done as well. Next up, we have Kickin Chicken, who, I wish a lot of these got big versions, honestly. What did we get? 2, literally? Dogday and Catnap? Cringe. Especially when you need for Kickin Chicken is a 13x9, just so you know the numbers will always be to the left side. I know some of these get close because I don't want to put that much space between them, and then when I get the double-digit numbers, it becomes a problem. But the materials you need for him, or I think it's a him, yeah, are orange concrete, yellow wool, red nether bricks. So when you're getting out the materials, you do not need red nether bricks here, you just need the other ones. When I tell you to use red nether bricks, just use normal nether bricks on the front here. I do apologize about that, I just can't see, apparently. Black concrete. Regular nether bricks. Acacia slabs. And acacia stairs, and I'm pretty sure that's it. I don't think I'm missing anything. So, Kickin Chicken is symmetrical with the exception of the hair, which we're just going to worry about. So if you want to start from the front right-hand corner, you can, but I'm starting from the front left of the 13x9 golf if you made it. You want to start by counting right by 3 and going right, place 2 orange concrete. Leave a gap of 3, place 2 more orange concrete. Bring each orange up by 1, and then I guess extend them each back with 4 yellow wool. We'll just go with that for now, sure. On top of the inner corner of yellow wool on both sides, you will go up with 7 yellow wool. You can then bring those rows of yellow in by 1, and when you also hit the bottom, you'll extend them down an additional 1, so they're 1 off the ground. Fill in this middle slot line, or whatever here, in with red nether bricks. And then at the bottom, you'll take this whole row and kind of bring it back diagonally down by 1 with the same row of the yellow on either side with a red nether brick in the middle. Nice. You'll take the outer back corner of the leg on either side and bring it up with 3 yellow wool. You can then bring the entire outer shape of the body again back with 2 rows of yellow wool. If you've made, again, if you're making all of these, you're just going to be doing the same thing over and over again. I'm sorry. But I am doing it as well, and I've split it up. I'm like doing 2 a day. So, it's not as bad. You'll then take the back 2 yellow wool on either side of this lower portion and extend them each up by an additional 1, like so. Fill in the back with just plain yellow wool. And from there we can make the arms. And the tail, actually. We'll start with the tail, or whatever it is. I don't know if it's actually considered a tail. But anyway, you'll take the bottom yellow wool at the back middle and just extend it back with 2 yellow wool. You'll bring that row of yellow wool up an additional 2 rows, so you have this. It's, I guess, kind of like a fin, almost. Well, no, it is a ducktail. Or like a ducktail. It reminds me of one. Both arms are the same, as per usual. You want to take the top of the... Are we doing the top? Yeah, we'll take the top of the shoulder on either side at the front here and bring it out with 2 yellow wool. You go down 1. Out 1. Down by 2. Out 1. And then just connect down to the ground with yellow wool. Which should be like 5 or something? Yeah, 5 yellow wool. Bring each yellow wool just inward an additional 1, which is right on the left and left on the right. So you have this. Bring both arms as well back with yellow wool an additional row to just give them a little bit more thickness so they're not just pieces of paper. Even though they would still be, technically speaking, 3 feet thick, but now they're 6 feet thick, which makes a little bit more sense, I think, for the build. The build's proportions. Before we do the head, take the top front red... Is it red nether brick? It might not be. It's not even red nether brick, frick, whatever. You'll count down by 1 and place an acacia stair here. Below it, you will place an acacia plank, and then an upside down slab. Off either side of the upside down slab and the plank, you'll place upside down acacia stairs facing out. This is my really poor star. For the next step, you will start by taking the back row of the head here, or the back of the body, I should say, this row of 5, and the middle 3 at least you will extend up with an additional yellow wool. You will extend that row of yellow wool forward with 4 rows. But each of those 4 rows will extend 1 additional row off the left and right to be a total of 5. At the front row, you'll go from the either side of the yellow wool. You'll go up diagonally out with 2 yellow wool. Then up by 2. In by 2. Down diagonally in 1, and then connect together in the middle. On top of that top middle yellow wool, you'll place an acacia slab. Also from that yellow wool where you place the slab on top, you'll place a yellow wool behind it with a nether brick block below it. Fill in the rest of the mouth with black concrete at the same level of that nether brick, just to give it some depth and have it be a block back. Which the eyes are not, but whatever. What I would recommend doing from this point is bringing the entire kind of outsides of the mouth back by 4. This does not include the top, unless you want it to, but I'm not having it include the top. And then from that point, you will take the rows of 1 here and bring them in with a yellow, back diagonally in 1, and then connect together. And the other 3 rows will just be brought back diagonally in by 1, and then we'll connect together there. There's the mouth. Oh, I'm seeing Dogdays next. It'll be fun. Anyway, from this point, you will take... Essentially from the top, actually, here, you'll take the inner corner of yellow wool. Not this front corner, but I guess kind of in diagonally back by 1, and place going up 3 yellow wool. Only 2 should stick up, so if you do not want to place the bottom one, you don't need it. You'll then go in from those top 2 yellow wool specifically with 2 black concrete per block, and then a yellow wool. Extend the yellow wool in the middle down and then just out on either side at that bottom one, and also place yellow wool on top of each black concrete and connect them together in the middle to create a more circular shape. For Kickin Chicken's hair, we'll just go row by row, I guess, and kind of do going back from the front here. Behind the front row where the eyes are, you will be on the furthest left block, and it'll be the actual, like, brim of the head. It'll be where the kind of mouth part goes all the way around. You'll go up here and place 3 yellow wool. Go right 1, up 1, right by 3, up 1, right 2, down 1, right 1, then down by 3, and right 1 at the bottom. And I will fill in the singular block with yellow. The next row back, you will start in the same position here on the left, and you will place a yellow. Then go up diagonally left with a yellow. Up 1. Up diagonally right by 1. Then right 2. Up diagonally right 1. Right by 4. And then you'll go down by, I guess, 4. And then just go right by 1 at the base again. From this point, you will actually copy the very front row of the head where the eyes are, where you'll have the 2 on either side, and then the row of 5 kind of up diagonally in, and just fill in the middle, or the bottom of that in with yellow, like so. Any block from the hair that you need to fill in at the back here so you don't have some random gaps, you'll just fill in with yellow wool as well. And there you go. That is Kickin Chicken done. Very nice. Next up is arguably the hardest of the smiling critters. It is Dogday. He is only particularly difficult because of the multicolors on his head. That really is the only reason there's any sort of trickiness here, but he's got a lot more going on, at least in that side. Dogday's space requires a 13 by 13 area, and the materials you need for him are red terracotta. You might need more than 9 for this one. Orange wool, yellow wool. This time for real red nether bricks, I swear. Trust me. Block of gold, a singular one if you are in survival for whatever reason. Smooth red sandstone stairs. Not block of coal, black concrete. Nether bricks. And is that it? I think that's it, yeah. Unless I'm missing something. Oh, blackstone slab. That's the obvious thing I'm missing. Starting from the front left-hand or front right-hand corner of your 13 by 13 grid golf. If you made it, you want to start, if you're on the left, you'll start by counting right by 3 and going right, place 2 red terracotta. Leave a gap of 3, 2 red terracotta. Bring each red terracotta up by 1, and then each red terracotta from there can be brought back with 4 orange wool. Like so. You will take the inner orange wool here on either side of the kind of back row of the legs and bring it up with 5 yellow wool. And then 2 orange wool at the top. Bring either of those rows in by 1, but you'll end up having yellows extend an additional row up and only have 1 orange wool at the top. And then you can also extend the yellows down an additional 1 at the bottom. Then bring the yellows down diagonally back by 1, and fill in between the yellow or orange with red nether bricks. Take the left and right of the outside of the leg blocks here at the back and just bring them up with 3 orange wool. Again, you're bringing the outside of the body back with 2 rows of orange wool specifically. Even if you have yellow, you will still place orange behind it. And then it's the same thing as per usual. The back 2 orange wool can be brought up by an additional 1 on these sides at the kind of bottom row. And then the back is just filled in with flat orange wool. I still don't feel like Dogday is that tricky. Craftycorn and Dogday might be the 2 worst. Just because of the amount of different stuff that's going on. Let's do the arms first, and then we'll do the little pendant. You want to start on either side and take the top front orange wool and extend it out on either side with 2 orange wool. Then go down 1, out 1, down by 2, out 1, and then down with 3 orange, and finish off with 2 red terracotta. Again, bring each of those blocks just in with the same block by just 1. And bring the arms back an additional row. Warp. And then we can do the pendant, as I'm going to call it, I guess. I don't really know. Pendant makes enough sense, I guess. So you want to take, not the top red nether brick, but 1 down. You'll be kind of in the middle of the top row of yellow wool. And you'll place a smooth red sandstone stair facing right. Just so we have something to work with, you'll place a block of gold below it, but you'll head back up to that smooth red sandstone stair. So we know what we're circling here. Right of that stair, you'll place another stair facing right. Below that, you'll place 2 upside down stairs facing right. Then left of that, you'll place 2 upside down stairs facing left. And then on top of that, you'll place 2 regular stairs also facing left. It gives you this for whatever reason. It's something, in fact. It's a design that I made. That's about all I can say. It's time for Dogday's head, which is, again, it's a little bit weird, but it really isn't that bad now that I'm looking at it again. So what you can do here is you can do the same thing as we did with really most of them. You'll take the back row of 5 orange wool and take the middle 3 specifically and bring them up with a yellow wool. Extend each of those 3 yellow wools forward by 4, and each of those front rows of 4 can extend to the left and the right an additional row. From the frontmost row, you'll go up diagonally out with 2 yellow, then up by 2, then in by 2, then down diagonally in by 1 and connect together with a yellow. Place a black stone slab on that middle yellow at the very middle here, and you'll place a yellow wool behind the black stone slab. Extend the yellow wool off each side by 1 except for up. You're bringing it left, right, and down as a placeholder, which you'll see why in a second. That bottom one can be brought down with a nether brick, and then surround that nether brick really. Well, not surround it, but place black concrete, just filling in the rest of the mouth in line with that nether brick. Which is, the nether brick is the, like, little thing that they have in their mouth for, I don't know, it's a speaker, I think. I don't really know. Take the singular yellow wool. I guess I should take each of the outer yellow wools here and just extend them back with an additional 4. Which would be really the sides of the rows of 3 and then the row of 1. You'll then take the row of 1 here at the back, I'll give you a second, and bring it in by 1, back diagonally in by 1, and then connect together. And the top 3 rows will just be brought back diagonally in with a yellow, and then connected together. There you go. Heading back to the front. On top of this middle yellow wool, on this row of 3 kind of behind the nose, you'll place 3 red terracotta moving up. That looks peculiar. You'll bring that red terracotta right by 2, down diagonally, right 1, and then down 1. You'll take that same top red terracotta and extend it left with 2 orange wool, then down diagonally left with an orange and down 1. Fill in both 2x2s in with black concrete. For simplicity's sake, I'll call it, we're going to do the same thing on both sides here. What I tell you to do, I'm going to tell you to instruct this all with orange, but you're doing it on both sides, and when you do it on the right, you want to make sure you're using red terracotta, of course. So, from the I guess from the bottom outer orange here, or from either side, you'll go back diagonally out with your particular block. I'll just say whatever. You'll then go back one, and then up one. Then from that little row of 2 on both sides, you will go back diagonally in by 1 with another row of 2. And then extend those rows of 2 inwards by 1. Those inner rows of 2 can become rows of 3. I need to stop doing the misplaced block. And then from the top of the row of 3, you'll go forward diagonally out by 1. And then forward 1. To fill in the gap on the sides here, you'll also go down by 1 from that front one. And then really from this point, it's connecting everything together. Now, basically what that means is filling in the top with the orange and red, and also the back. Make sure you do have more red terracotta than orange wool. I tried to split it like this, but it looked weird, so I didn't. And I left it as is, like this. Now, for the ears. These are going to be a little bit weird because they are made of red terracotta, which, you know, you're going to have a problem. Or you're going to have fun differentiating the red terracotta and the red terracotta from each other because they're the same freaking block. But you want to take the long row at the top of the head on both sides, and you want to be not on the outermost one, but one in. You'll be on this particular orange or red. And you'll place, guess what, a red terracotta on top, on both sides. Then go out by 2. Down diagonally out by 1. Down 1. Down diagonally out by 1. And then down by 4. The next step here is taking the first red terracotta you placed on either side and bringing it back by 1. You'll then go up diagonally out by 1, out 1, then down diagonally out by 1, down by 2, down diagonally out by 1, and down by 3. For the backmost row, you will start in the same position yet again, but this time you'll actually kind of go, from this, I guess, red terracotta, you'll go up diagonally out by 1, or this orange, whatever side you're on. You'll then extend it out by 1, down diagonally out by 1, and then down by 4. The top little row of 2 red terracotta on either side, you'll just bring down an additional row, which will kind of fill out the ears a little bit and just give you this from the back. We do need to do a little bit of thickening out from the front here. Basically, all that entails is you have another gap here where you can see it inside the ear, just above the... If you look at the orange side, you'll see you have this kind of like L shape of orange. You'll just place it on top of the top one, like so. Of the top black. And then on the inside of the ear, you have this row of 3 red terracotta visible at the back. You'll take the top 2 and just extend them forward by 1 each. There's Dogday's ears. Let's do his tail, though, before we forget, which is literally the only thing left, but that's not particularly my point here. I mean, it is the point. Head to the back here, and if you find the middle back orange wool, you want to go out of it and place 4 orange wool moving just straight back. Go left 1, back 2, left 1. And then what you want to do is on the front 2 orange wool, you'll place an additional orange wool on top. Then moving back, you'll leave a gap of 1, place an orange wool on the next 2, gap of 1, orange wool, and then the last one will stay open. And there's Dogday, and if you're following along on all of them, you're halfway there. Very nice, I guess. Next up on our list is Bubba Bubbaphant. What an absolute unit of a name. I literally had to look this one up. I couldn't remember his name. But anyway, here he is in all of his blueness. And yeah. Because of Bubba Bubbaphant's tail, he is a 16 by 12 spacing as opposed to the 13 usually we're getting. Materials you need for him are light blue wool, light blue concrete. Might as well just get all the concrete. Gray concrete, cyan concrete, black concrete. Is it just the nether brick and the bamboo? I think so. Nether bricks, bamboo stairs, and bamboo planks, and perfect. Yeah, literally none of these have been more than 9 materials. That's sick. Starting from the front right-hand corner of your 16 by 12 space golf. If you need to start from the right because of the tail, you want to start by counting left by 3 and going left. You'll place 2 light blue concrete, leave a gap at 3, 2 light blue concrete. Bring each concrete up by 1, and then each concrete from there back with 4 light blue wool. I like that. Take the inner back corners of light blue wool and extend them up with 7 light blue wool. Extend those rows of 7 in by a row with light blue wool, which will also end up extending down an additional row, so it's 1 off the ground. And then from those bottom ones, you'll go back diagonally down with a light blue wool to connect to the ground. Fill in the middle strip with gray concrete. We'll do the little pendant later, as I'm calling it. I don't actually know if it's a pendant or not. I am bad with words. The back corner of either leg you will just bring up with 3 light blue wool as opposed to the other number, which was 7. As you should be accustomed to, you'll bring the entire outskirts of the body, which would include the bottom, or the legs actually, back with 2 rows of light blue wool. You don't have to bring the top back, it doesn't matter. And then you'll fill in the back with light blue wool. On the back 2 rows on these sides, you'll bring the light blue wools up by 1 each. This should probably, honestly, at this point, just be muscle memory to you. And from the tops of the front row of light blue wool, the shoulders, if you will go out with 2 light blue wool. You'll then go down 1, out 1, down by 2, out 1, down by 3, and then you'll place 2 light blue concrete down, or connecting to the ground from there. You'll again bring each block just in by 1 with their respective block of light blue wool or concrete. And then bring both the arms back a row. I do really like this body shape. I think it worked pretty well. I struggled with it a little bit, mainly to get the arms right with the kind of chubbiness that these plushies have, but I think it ended up working out fine because I didn't want to fully connect it because it would just look weird if the like arms laid perfectly flat. So I needed to give them a little bit of separation. Anyway, let's do the pendant, then we'll do the tail, and then we'll do the head. You want to be on the top gray concrete on the front. Count down by 1 and place going down from there 2 bamboo planks and a cyan concrete. Off either side of the bottom bamboo plank, you'll place upside down bamboo stair facing away, which gives you that. And then on top of either of those bamboo stairs, you'll place normal bamboo stairs facing out again. I think this is a light bulb. I'm really not positive, and I never truly am with these things, but I'm pretty sure it's a light bulb. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong and you're for sure that I'm wrong. Don't just be like, oh, you know what, it's definitely a cheeseburger, because that's not a cheeseburger. I know that for free. Head to the back of the body, ignoring all sarcasm, and you want to be on the bottom back block of Bubba's, well, butt. You want to be on this particular light blue wool. You'll bring it back by 2 with light blue wool. Left 1, back 1, left by 2, back 1, left by 3, and then left with 3 light blue concrete from there. Ignoring the end one of the light blue concrete, you'll take the other 2 blocks and extend them out on each side by an additional 1 with light blue concrete to create kind of a plus shape. I guess it isn't a plus because you can't bring it down because it should be on the ground. I mean, you could point it straight up and then make the plus, but I don't know why you would do that. I mean, I guess there's some sort of reason, but for me, I don't feel like that makes any sense. But I guess it could, you never know. Take the back top row of the light blue wool on his, like, back, and bring the middle 3 each up an additional 1. As per usual, extend the light blue wool forward an additional 4 rows, and off of each of those front 4 rows, you'll just extend them left and right by 1 additional row, so you have a little 5x4 kind of platform with an extra row. 5x5 missing some of the corners? Sure. Off either end of that front row, you'll go up diagonally out by 2 with light blue wool, and this will be like the majority of this guy wanted, his fat head. Go up with 2 light blue wool, then in with 2, then down diagonally in by 1 and just connect together. Above that middle light blue wool, you will place another light blue wool. You'll bring it forward 2, that top one, down 1, forward 1, down 2, and then forward with a light blue concrete, and that's his little trunk. You'll take the light blue concrete below the start of the trunk, which is kind of this middle bottom one, and just bring it back with another light blue wool. Extend that light blue wool down with a nether brick, and then fill in the rest of the mouth in line with the nether brick with black concrete. Hopefully I'm you know, not going too fast if you have made the rest of these. If this is the only one you're making, I apologize deeply. Because, you know, I've recorded a lot of these, and I've had enough. Although I'm not recording them all back to back, which does make my life a little easier. Take these sides of the heads and bring all these rows back with 4 light blue wool. It should only be the ones that are actually 1 so far, and also should only be the sides. You don't need the top. And especially not the trunk. The little rows of 1 here at the bottom you'll bring in with a light blue wool, then back diagonally in by 1 and connect together. The other 3 rows you'll just go back diagonally in by 1 and connect. So you'll have this. Top half of the head. Where the trunk is here, you want to take the back block of it and extend it back with a light blue wool. It is also on top of that one that I told you to pick back earlier, which is where we place another brick under it, if you recall. This light blue wool can be brought out on each side by, we'll just go with 2. I feel like that'll make our life a little easier here. So you have this shape. The top row of light blue wool you can actually extend up an additional 1, or this, I guess, column, and then extend that top block from there left and right by 2. From the ends of that, you'll go down diagonally out by 1, and then down by 1, and you'll have these little 2x2 holes. I haven't been, but if you want to do the same thing with the mouth, where you fill these eyes in a block back with black concrete, you absolutely can. I think that looks fine, but I filled them in flat, because I don't have a reason, actually. Anyway, we can focus on more stuff. You want to bring the kind of outskirts of that previous row back an additional row with light blue wool. But there is kind of a weird twist to this row, and it involves the rows of 2 on the left and right. The bottom of the row of 2 will extend out, and the top will extend up. And that just really gives you a little bit more shape there to your head. It's not really huge. It doesn't matter for most of them, frankly, because the ears end up giving them more shape from that, but you know, it is still nice to have. You will bring these bottom sticky outy light blue wools back by 1, and then this is where we will start the ears from this block. From there, you will go out with a light blue wool, up 1, up diagonally out by 1, up by 2, up diagonally in by 1, in 1, and then down diagonally in by 2. Fill in the middle of those in with light blue concrete. Really just what is visible from the front. Don't worry about the back or anything because, well, you don't want to see the light blue from the back, the concrete anyway from the back. I can't just say light blue, I guess. Anyway. Directing our attention to the back of the head. This kind of gets a little bit weird, but this top back row of light blue wool here, from the, I guess, bottom kind of jawline that we did, you want to bring the light blue wool, I guess, up diagonally forward a row with light blue wool, like so. You'll bring that row up with 2 rows, and then at least the middle 3 blocks you will connect forward, so you have this. Each of those light blue concretes you will place a light blue wool behind, just so you are not able to see it from the back, and that also does end up actually shaping the head a little bit more back here, which does look kind of goofy, actually. Looks like a mouse from that angle. But from the front you can tell they're elephant ears. Anyway, that is Bubba Bubbaphant done. Now it's time for, I want to say it's Piggy, but I will have to double check that one as well. Next up is, in fact, the infamous Piggy, not Pinky Piggy. I mean, he, she, it is pink. I'll have to check that one too before I start the actual tutorial, so I'm not accidentally misgendering. But, yeah, there is your pig. So, Piggy requires a 13 by 12 space, and the materials you'll be needing for her are pink wool, magenta concrete, gray concrete, again, we'll just get all the concretes, black concrete. This might be the first we need more than 9 materials for. Red nether brick stairs, red nether brick blocks, dark oak or spruce? Spruce fence. A, oxidized copper trapdoor or wax. Doesn't matter, I guess. I like waxed better, generally. And, as I was correct, we will need more than 9. You need, cherry slabs for the 9th slot. You will also end up needing cherry stairs and nether brick blocks. And also, what is this material? Magenta terracotta. For the ears. So, starting from the front left-hand corner of your 13 by 12 grid golf. If you made it, you can start from the front right if you so choose. You want to start by counting right by 3 and going right. You will place 2 magenta concrete. Leave a gap of 3, 2 magenta concrete. Bring each magenta concrete up by 1 each, and then each of those magenta concretes can be brought back with 4 pink wool. Hey, look, 2 left after this, and it's Hoppy, Hopscotch, and Craftycorn. I know those names. From the inner back corner of either leg, you'll bring it up with 7 pink wool. Extend those rows of 7 in with an additional row of pink wool that will also extend 1 lower than them, which will mean there will be 1 off the ground. Extend the bottom pink wools down diagonally back with another pink wool, and then you'll fill in the middle row with gray concrete. The back corner of the legs can be extended up with 3 pink wool per block. Again, take the outside of the body and bring it back with 2 rows of pink wool. Again, after 6 of these, I'm gonna have this body shape just memorized forever after the 8th one. And then we'll start by taking the back 2 rows on this kind of lower level of the body, which is where you brought it up from the legs, and you'll bring those pink wools up by 1 each. Again, only the back 2 rows. And then fill in the actual back in with pink wool. There you go. Let's do the tail while we're actually on the back. So, if you take the backmost middle pink wool on the bottom layer, you will bring it back with 2 pink wool. You're gonna have to follow me here. You're gonna have to go right 1, up 1, back 1, up 1, left by 2, down 1, back 1, down 1, right 1, back 1, and then up 1. And there's your little pigtail. For the arms, you will take the top corners of pink wool here on the front, and you'll go out from them with 2 pink wool. Down 1, out 1, down by 2, out 1, down by 3, and then place 2 magenta concrete connecting down to the ground. That looks so weird. Bring each of those arm blocks in by 1, whether it be pink wool or magenta concrete, and then extend the entire arm on both sides back an additional row. I do plan to do the, ruined ones. That's not what they're called. That's a Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach reference eventually, but that's a problem for later me. I just need to get through these first. And if I have to make them 8 more times, I'm gonna explode. You want to take the top gray concrete here at the front and place a spruce fence in front of it. Right of it, you'll place a waxed oxidized copper trapdoor, or just oxidized copper trapdoor, opened up against the spruce fence like so. Beneath, I guess, both the fence and the trapdoor, you'll place a red nether brick block pair. Extend the red nether brick block to the left an additional 1, and then the middle red nether brick can also be extended down by 1. So you have almost a plus shape. Nice try, though. We'll never see it. It's a T. There we go. In either of these bottom corners, you'll place upside down red nether brick stairs that kind of face away from the middle to create this. It is a little bit thick, but it's close enough. We'll start with some of the head, and then we'll do a quick inventory switch. Not of everything, we'll just kind of get rid of some of these lingering materials at the back, which were used for the little pendant. Take the back row of 5 pink wool from the body, and extend the middle 3 up an additional 1. Extend each of those 4 pink wool forward by 1 each, and then extend those 3 forward by 4 each, excuse me. And then take the front 4 rows and extend them to the left and right by an additional row. My brain just fried, apparently. That was weird. We're going to kind of hybrid this one. We're not going to do it quite the same. Well, actually, no. We'll just get rid of stuff now. Get rid of your red nether brick stairs, red nether brick blocks, spruce fence, and your copper trap door, and get out nether bricks, magenta terracotta, and I guess we'll go cherry stairs. And just because we'll get cherry planks to fill in that final slot, since we might as well. So from this front row of 5, you'll go up diagonally out on either side with 2 pink wool from the edges. You'll then go up 2, in by 2, and then connect together from there with cherry slabs. We'll start by actually bringing the outer pink wools each back by 4, which is, again, the rows of 1 and the rows of 3. Take the row of 1 and extend it in by 1, then back diagonally in by 1 and connect together. And then the top 3 rows will be brought back diagonally in by 1 and connected together. Now we can finish the snout. I don't know why I wanted to do that first this time, I just did. So, below the middle cherry slab, you want to place a cherry plank. You can bring that plank back by 1 and then down from there with a nether brick. You'll fill in the rest of the mouth around the nether brick with black concrete. Make sure you get the entire top row here. I know we have some extra space, particularly underneath these slabs, which we want to fill that in with black concrete still. Because off of either side of this cherry plank, you will place a couple of cherry stairs that face into the aforementioned plank, like so. You will probably need placeholders for it, but it'll give you this. Now we can do the top of the head. Behind each of the cherry slabs, you'll place a singular pink wool. Extend the middle 3 pink wool up, or the middle 1 pink wool up by 3. I keep mixing my numbers. And you'll have a shape I still refuse to comment on. And then you'll extend it left and right with 2 pink wool. That top one. That's a little bit better, not quite as questionable. You go down diagonally out from the top there with a pink wool, and then connect down by 1. Yet again, fill in the eye sockets with black concrete. Whether or not it's a block back is up to you, though. If it is a block back, do keep in mind you'll have like a gap right on under the like outer block. Anyway, you want to, if you've seen like Bubba or some of them, I think Catnap originally as well. Not many have it because of the weird shapes of their heads. But you want to essentially bring this row of pink wool, or the outer row of pink wool, back with 2 rows this time instead of 1. And then with those back 2 rows, you'll take specifically the row of like 2 tall pink wool, and off of the bottom row, you'll place pink wool just to the outside. Off the top of the row 2, you'll place pink wool on top. That's just because we only did 2 rows because it'll just help us get right into the ears instead of kind of doing what we did for Bubba, which was a little bit different. But anyway, if you actually head to the back real quick, you can just fill in the back of the head. The way you do this is you just basically bring all of the pink wool back an additional row, except for these lingering ones on the side, and then you'll just fill in the bottom 2 rows, or just the middle like that. So it's kind of a flat back. However, it does look weird right now because you would expect the corners to be punched out, but the ears end up getting in the way of that, and it ends up looking fine anyway. So, on these sides, the back of the little two pink wool that kind of, the ones that I called lingering a second ago, you want to bring this pink wool up by 1. You'll then go up diagonally out by 1, and then up by 2, then in by 2, and then down diagonally in by 1. Fill in both of these ears with magenta terracotta. It is literally just 3 blocks. The top row of 3 pink wool, you will actually extend forward an additional row. And when you do this, the outermost pink wool, you'll also extend down by 1 to create this kind of shape. It just makes the ears curl forward a little bit. It's very subtle, but especially because the back still ends up being flat, but it does, I think, add a little bit of detail. And then if you do head to the back, you'll just place behind each magenta terracotta pink wool. And there is Piggy done, and that is 6 of 8 if you are following all of them. Last, but actually not last. Whatever. We're almost last is my point here. And this is Hoppy Hopscotch. Second to last is what I meant to say, but for some reason I just said last. So yeah, you'll hear that joke, I'm sure, again in a little. So Hoppy Hopscotch requires a 13 by 9 space, and the materials we're needing, well, I didn't punch my mic for once, I don't believe it. For this are lime wool, lime concrete, black concrete, wow, this is going to be like 4 materials, gray concrete, blackstone slabs, darn, we've already passed the number 4, I'm so wrong, nether bricks, and bamboo stairs, and I think that's everything. Not particularly one that is complicated on the old numbers. Or the inventory space, I guess. Well, most of them have been either between 7 and 9. Starting from the front left-hand corner of your 13 by 9 grid golf, if you made it, or you can start from the front right as well, which will also be the case for Craftycorn, by the way. You want to start by counting right by 3 and going right place 2 lime, gap of 3, 2 lime, concrete, not wool, I'm sorry, I kind of just like spaced out. Bring each lime concrete up by 1. Then bring each concrete back with 4 lime wool. And then you'll take the inner back corner of the leg and bring it up with 7 lime wool. Bring either of those rows of 7 lime wool in with an additional row, which will also extend 1 further down, so it's in line with that corner again of the leg. It's 1 off the ground. From that, you'll then go back diagonally down with the lime wool from the bottom blocks, and connect all of the, I guess, lime wools together here at the front with a gray concrete. You know, it's bad that I'm doing this without really looking at the other build that much. I'm kind of just going about doing it. I've made so many of these, so, you know. Off of the back, or the outer back corners of the legs, you'll place 3 lime wool moving up. And then bring either outer row of the body back with 2 rows of lime wool. Except for the top, you do not need to do. You could if you wanted, it just doesn't particularly matter, and it's a waste of materials, in my opinion. Not that it matters if you're in creative, but, you know. You'll then take the back 2 lime wool on the kind of lower level of the sides here, and just bring the back 2 each up with an additional 1 lime wool. And then you can fill in the back of the body in with just lime wool. Just lime wool, that's my brand now. I'm just a piece of lime wool. So from the back of the body, we're going to do the tail because we're back here already. You want to take the bottom middle 3 lime wool and extend each one back with 2 lime concrete. Extend each lime concrete. We're going to go up by 2 instead of 1. And then you'll take these back upper corners and just break the lime concrete in either corner to give you this shape. We could have alternatively placed the T shape, but I feel like it's easier to place the whole thing and then break the 2 blocks rather than explaining how to place the 4. Because, you know. Just makes sense. Let's do the little lightning bolt, which is his little zipper holder pendant, whatever you want to call it. You want to take the top gray concrete and count down by 1 from it on this one. Here you'll place a bamboo stair facing left. Below it you want an upside down bamboo stair facing left. Right of that, a normal bamboo stair facing right. And then below that, an upside down bamboo stair facing right as well. You then want to take the top front corners of the body here and extend these slime wools out by 2. Yes, 2. From those outer ones, you'll go down by 1, out 1, down by 2, out 1, down by 3, and then you'll connect down from there with 2 lime concrete. I have an itch on my nose, and it's annoying me. I just figured you all should be made aware of that. You want to then bring each lime concrete and lime wool and those little string arms in by an additional block to make them a little less string and a little more, army? I don't really know. Anyway, you should have this. God, it, like... I don't know. You'll bring the arms each back in additional row. It looks good. I don't know. It's just... It's like... The arms make it come together. I don't know why the arms are that big of a difference maker, but they are, you know? It is. That's how the thing works. So you should have this, and I would say that looks pretty good, although, you know, if you don't know what this looks like yet, hi, welcome to the video, I guess. Not like I've made, 6 more before this one. You want to take the top back row of lime wool from the body and bring the middle line, 3 lime wool each up by 1. Extend each of those 3 lime wool forward by 4 each, and off of each of those front 4 rows, you'll bring the lime left and right an additional row. From the front lime wool here on either side, you'll go up diagonally out by 2 from this row of 5. Then up by 2. Then in by 2. Oh, good lord. Then down diagonally in by 1 and connect together. Take the whole outside, like, rows of this, which is really this 1 diagonal and the 3 rows on the left and right, and bring them back with 4 lime wool each. Hopefully if you've... I mean, this is like... I'm going on 15 right now, I guess, rather than 7, so, you know, that's a thing. You want to bring the rows of 1 diagonal lime wool in by 1, back diagonally in by 1, and then connect together. These 3 rows will just be brought back diagonally in by 1 and will connect together. But yeah, hopefully this kind of should be routine if you are making all of these. I'm going to assume a lot of you are making all of these. Because, I don't know, unless you particularly have a favorite, like you like Craftycorn and you're saying frick you to all the other characters, well, I guess you like Hoppy Hopscotch since you'd be watching this segment, and you're saying frick you to all the other characters, and you know, that's fine enough. The top middle lime wool, you'll place a blackstone slab on top of. I guess I should say the lower one, but it's on the, like, it's on the part of the mouth that where it dips down to create that smile a little bit better of a shape. That's not how that works. Bring this blackstone slab back with a lime wool, and then extend this lime wool. We're going to actually... If you know the shape, just do whatever the frick you want, but I'm going to go left and right by 3. Off those ends, I'll go up with 2 lime wool, which will not be this block, it'll be in by 1. And then I'll go up diagonally in by 1, connect together, and then take the middle row and just extend it down. You can fill in the eyes with black concrete. We'll worry about the inside of the mouth in a second here, I just don't feel like doing it yet. You can bring the whole shape of the head back with an additional 3 rows. And when you hit the back, you will want to fill in the back just to make it flat. So you should have this. Just to add that little bit of shape, as I'm sure you are familiar with, you will take the middle 2 rows on, particularly this part of the head, which I guess is actually still the middle 2 rows, and off of the too tall row, you're going to place a row off of the outside of the bottom row and on top of the top row. I'm sorry my voice is cutting out, or not cutting out, like, I don't know what's going on right now. But anyway, it should give you this. Almost there so I can really clear my throat. Oh my god, that did not help. Underneath where the blackstone slab is, you'll take this lime wool and bring it back by 1. Under that lime wool, you'll place a nether brick. And then from there, you can fill in the rest of the mouth in line with that nether brick, just in with black concrete. There we go. My voice is better now. I don't know what that was about. He's kind of missing something important, and that would be his ears, if you didn't catch that one. So, you want... I don't know why that was so sarcastic. You want to take the back row out of the middle 2 rows, and you want to be on the kind of row of lime that sticks out a little bit. It's this particular block that I'm mentioning. On either side, you will go from this block up diagonally out with a lime wool. Up 1, up diagonally out by 1, up 1, Then up with 3 lime concrete. Why did I stop flying up? What did I just, like, hit the air? I swear that happens sometimes in Bedrock. It's kind of weird. You'll then go in from there with another lime concrete. Then down diagonally in by 1 with lime. Down 1. Then down with a wool. Down diagonally in with a wool. And then down with 2 more lime wool. You will, this particular ear is weird because of the way that it ends up having more depth. You'll just fill in a row back the kind of middle strip here in with lime concrete, which will end up including this top back corner of the head. Like this block that I'm looking at, you're going to place a lime concrete there, and essentially from there you can literally just bring it up and over. It's a row of 4, and then it's over 1, and then up by 3, if you really want numbers. And there you go, you have the tallest of the set, in case that particularly matters to anybody. But there is Hoppy Hopscotch, with his big old ears. And finally, we have Craftycorn, who's actually one of my personal favorites. Craftycorn, why did I say corn so weird? Anyway, here she is. I will have to check that one as well. I'm pretty sure it's a she, though. And all of their glory, I guess. So, check that, though. So the facial bikini for Craftycorn is a 13 by 10, and she is in fact a she. I did confirm that. And you want to start by getting out for this build. Light blue wool. White wool. Gray concrete. I am scared we're going to run out of materials here. Yellow terracotta. And this is particularly why right here. Yeah, we're going to need more than 9, because you need warp stairs, crimson stairs, red nether brick stairs, and waxed weathered cut copper stairs. Yeah, and that's just for the pendant alone. You can also, I guess, get out just your nether brick block. We'll get rid of these 4 stairs and work with it from there, because, yeah, that will be definitely useful. So you want to start from either the front left or front right hand corner of your 13 by 10 grid cough. If you've made it, and you want to start by counting across by 3, which is right in my case. And going right, you'll place 2 light blue wool, gap of 3, 2 light blue wool. Extend either light blue wool up by 1, or each I should say, and then bring each light blue wool from there back with 4 white wool. This should be muscle memory at this point, honestly. If you've made all 8 again, that is assuming. For me, this is really muscle memory, because I've made 16 now. Well, I guess I didn't make all of them, because a lot of them were just /fill commands. Take the back inner corner of the leg and extend it up with 7 white wool. Extend those rows of white wool in by 1, and then down an additional 1 from the bottom, so they're 1 off the ground. It's a lot of 1s. Take those bottom blocks and extend them back diagonally down with a white wool. And then connect your white wool just in general together with gray concrete there. Take the back upper corners of the legs and extend them up with 3 white wool. Outer is what I should have said, but you know what I mean. You'll then bring the entire outside of the body back with 2 rows of white wool. And except for the top again, unless you really want to, I guess you could, but no one is particularly forcing you. And then on this lower kind of outer section, this rectangle here, which is I guess also an L shape if you include the leg, you'll take the back 2 white wool and extend them just each up an additional 1. And then from there, you'll fill in the full back in with white wool. Again, we can do the tail as we are back here, because the tail is quite interesting, honestly. So if you start from the bottom here, you want to go back and place 2 light blue wool from this middle white. Extend that row of 2 up an additional row, and then extend it, I guess, towards you an additional 1, so it sticks out the back another 1. If you have your grid line, you should be in line with it now. The then back 2 light blue wool will extend up an additional 3. And then that top row will extend back towards the towards Craftycorn's back by 1 row to connect into it with light blue wool like so. Then those front 2 closest to Craftycorn you'll bring up with an additional light blue wool, so you have this shape going on. From either side, that's a macaroni noodle, I'm just realizing, but from either side, you will take this original light blue wool you placed and extend it out by 1. Then extend this light blue wool up 1, backwards by 1, and then up by 2, so you have this shape now. And that is Craftycorn's tail. It, like, goes up her back entirely, but I guess that's not particularly the point here. It's just, it's a factual information that came out of my mouth. So let's do the arms now. I'll give you like 2 seconds to breathe because I am kind of speed running right now. I apologize. I do that sometimes. I do that a lot of the time, actually. You want to take the top row of the body, the front here, and extend this row of white wool out on either side by 2. You'll then go down 1, out 1, down by 2, out 1, down by 3, and then connect down to the ground with what should be 2 light blue wool. Then extend each of those blocks in with the same thing just by 1, so white wool in with white wool, light blue wool in with light blue wool. And then extend the arms back an additional row. Should be pretty easy. And there you go. From the top gray concrete on the front here, you will count down by 1, as I guess we've usually been doing here, and you'll place a red nether brick stair facing forward. Below it, a yellow terracotta, and below that, an upside down warp stair facing forward. From this yellow terracotta, you'll place left of it an upside down crimson stair facing left, and right of it an upside down waxed weathered cut copper stair facing right. If you have tick speed on, you may have to make sure it's waxed, because it will turn into the green one, and we don't want the green one. I had that happen on a build I was working on earlier, actually. I was using the exposed cut copper slabs for something, and I forgot to grab the waxed one, and they all started turning, or the one I guess I placed started turning on me, which I realized I had to change. Anyway, you can get rid of those 4 stairs, I guess along with the yellow terracotta, and get out black concrete, stone slabs, stone blocks, and that's literally all you need, so you can just bring your nether bricks forward if you want. Take the back row of 5 of the body and extend the middle 3 up with an additional white wool. Extend each of those 3 white wools forward by 4 each, and off of each of those 4 rows, you will extend them left and right an additional 1. Off the front corners of white wool, you'll go up diagonally out with 2 white wool, up by 2, then in by 2, then down diagonally in 1 and connect together. Can you guess the next step? You'll take the outer rows of the mouth here and extend them back with 4 white wool. Cough. Okay, well that's cool. You'll then take the 1 diagonals and extend the backmost one in with a white wool, then back diagonally in with a white wool and connect together. The rows of 3 here, you'll bring back diagonally in with a white wool and just connect together from there. Or the, I guess 3 rows at the top, I should say. But you know what I mean, whatever. Let's fill in the mouth now. From the top middle white wool, I guess, of the mouth here, you'll place a white wool behind it and then a nether brick below that. In line with that nether brick, you'll just fill in the rest of the mouth in with black concrete. Now, Craftycorn is a little bit weird because of the fact that she has something the other ones don't have, and that is hair. So, yeah, we're just going to kind of move along and focus on that once it becomes an actual problem. What am I seeing? Oh, okay. So you want to take this white wool that is just chilling here, and you want to bring it up with, we'll go with 3 white wool, I guess. It doesn't really matter. You could do 2 white wool and then 2 light blue wool, or 3 white wool and 1 light blue wool like I am doing here. You'll extend this light blue wool left and right by 2, and then go down diagonally out with a white wool. Connect down into the head with white wool, and you want to make sure that you have your eyes, obviously, which are the 2x2s of black concrete. So I'll take this original white wool we placed to start this and extend it off either side by 1, and then just fill in the 2x2s I have left with black concrete. Again, you may push them back if you think that looks better. That, though, looks stupid right there, but we'll worry about that in a little bit here. So, because of the fact that Craftycorn has, you know, multiple hairs, we can't really just build the head back and call it a day because we have to actually focus on this. So we're going to start by bringing it forward a little bit because it is brought forward a little bit. These middle 3 light blue wool, you'll each extend forward by 1. The middle light blue wool from there can be brought down by 1, so you kind of have this going on. It'll kind of look better in a second, trust me. We just need to get there. You can take the row of 5 light blue wool and extend it back with 3 rows. And then from this back row, you'll go down diagonally back with a row of light blue wool. And I did have an oversight here, so we are going to have to destroy this back row of white wool, and maybe a little bit of the sides, but I'm not sure yet on that, so I'll let you know. But from this back row of light blue wool, you're just going to have to break through the light blue wool, or the white wool if it gets in your way. You're going to go down diagonally out by 1, down 1, down diagonally out by 1, down by 2, in by 2, down diagonally in by 1, and connect together. And then fill in everything inside of this with light blue wool. Again, if you have your white wool, you will have to destroy it. I do apologize for that. I just kind of like completely forgot and just autopiloted, you know? Won't happen again. I mean, it shouldn't. This is the last one of the video, so if it happens again, that'd be impressive. You will essentially take all of the light blue wool that you can, and you'll extend them inwards by 1 towards the front. And basically all I mean by this is that really just each white wool in front you'll destroy. Just like 1 row forward and replace it with light blue wool, including the rows of 3 here on the sides, but since we don't have higher than that, that's all we'll do. But it'll look like this, essentially, from the sides. From the top of the row of 3 light blue wool, you'll go up diagonally in by 1, and then up by 1, and that should kind of just fill that out, so you have this. The row of white wool at the front on either side of the, what are they called? The eyes, that's what they're called. You'll bring it back with 2 rows of white wool. You'll extend the back 2 rows of white wool, kind of the same thing we've been doing, which means you'll extend the top of this row of 2 up and the bottom of it out. I know this is looking a little weird, but it'll get better with the ears, trust me. The ears definitely make a difference here. You will take the back row of white wool, which would be this particular block that I am highlighting, and alternatively you could replace it with a light blue wool if you wanted, but I'm not going to because I don't really feel like we need to. You do want to, outside of it though, place a light blue wool, and then extend that light blue wool up by 2. You can also, on top of that white wool, just place 2 light blue wool to kind of create these little rectangles. Surround these in white wool on basically every side, except you are leaving the actual corners out because it just looks a little bit better to round ears, generally. Not all the time, but generally. And then you'll fill in essentially the light blue wool that is visible from the back in with white wool. With one additional block being that corner of white wool, because you'll notice you'll have this going on, which just looks dumb, so you will place the white wool in that little corner there. Still looks a little weird because the ears I feel like are karmically large without the unicorn horn, which we shall add now. So off of the middle light blue wool here on this, kind of what ends up being a 5x5, I guess, without the front corners, you want to place a stone block just right there. You can kind of see where it's placed. It's 1 row forward from the ears. In front of it, you'll place an upside down stone slab. You'll then go up with a stone slab and then forward with a stone block. And that is Craftycorn done, and once you've done that, ladies and gentlemen, that is all 8 of your smiling critters complete if you decided to make them all. If you did, congratulations. I'm sure that was fun, for sure. You know, fun is a word that I would use to describe this video. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you guys did enjoy this video, if you do have any other statue suggestions or anything, let me know. I am kind of behind. But like I'm thinking about doing the ruined versions and also the nightmare critters once we actually are able to see them either in-game or just something, you know, get more of a plushy look at them. But anyway, with that being said, have a fantastic rest of your day or night, and I will see you on the next one. Peace.